Okay, so let's get this straight. You write a letter, a contract to Satan. Pull up your sleeve, take a razor blade, and cut your arm open. You take the blood from that cut and use it to seal your contract, your covenant with the devil. And that seals the deal where you sell your soul to evil and to the devil.
That's about it. So as a young teenager, for whatever reason, pleasing myself meant your three basic cliches: sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And that was all I cared about in life as a young teenager, was getting high and listening back in the 80s to hardcore punk rock music. And it's hard to describe why, but through the process I was exposed to the occult and black magic and witchcraft, and was very attracted to that sort of thing until I was probably 15 years old. I got to the place where I actually took a pen, wrote out a contract to sell my soul to the devil, and took a razor blade and cut my arm and took the blood from my arm and signed my name on the contract. I guess if you could summarize my ethic, it's my life, and I'm gonna do what I wanna do, and nobody is gonna tell me what to do.
I hear the sound echoes beneath, angels and skylines meet, and I'm straining to reach the light on the surface, light on the other side. I feel the pages turning, I see the candle burning down before my eyes, before my wild eyes. I feel you holding me tighter, I cannot see. When will we finally breathe?
So my drug of choice was LSD. I love to do acid, and I did a lot of it. But at this stage in my life, at one point, I was tripping on acid with some friends, and I hallucinated, and I died and went to hell. And you can think of all the symbolism and all the imagery that comes along with that, and I experienced that, of course, in a hallucinogenic kind of way. But it was like I actually was burning in hell. And when I came down off of that experience, you'd think that would change your attitude about your lifestyle, but it didn't, because I was completely committed to living my life for me. And at the time, everything that goes along with that, the sex, the drugs, and the rock and roll. But a few months later, I was with some friends, and we were doing acid again, and the same thing happened. I spent all night in hell. And when the sun came up, it was Thanksgiving Day. And that's when I started to think that maybe somebody was trying to tell me something. And I got very paranoid, and I started to just constantly obsessed with thoughts of God and Jesus and the devil and righteousness and heaven and hell. And so I decided that, one night, maybe I'll just read the Bible and just see what happens. And I started reading my Bible, and as soon as I did, the doorbell rang, and it was a friend of mine who wanted to go out and party, so we did. And that night, as we were coming down off the drugs, I had the same hell experience again, and this time it lasted for almost 24 hours. And it was at that point when I realized for the first time in my life that the most desperate need I had was for Jesus. I needed Jesus in my life. You could give me everything that I thought would satisfy me, and it would be meaningless if I didn't have Jesus in my life. And so in just a very simplistic, rudimentary way, as best I knew how, I just gave my life to Jesus. And he changed my life instantly, overnight.
You want me to do it?
No, I don't get it.
Go ahead, fellas, you gotta get up off your hold on.
So by a miracle, or several miracles, I graduated from high school and went to college, graduated from college, and went to seminary because I had found in the Bible the very words of life. My life had been restored by the Word of God, and so I wanted to learn it, I wanted to know it, and above all, I wanted to teach it to others. So I graduated from seminary with a PhD in New Testament, thinking that I was going to be teaching in a college or seminary somewhere and just enjoying kind of your lower middle class, comfortable American lifestyle. But when I graduated with a PhD, I soon discovered that nobody cares. And there are no jobs, and there is no demand for PhDs in New Testament in universities across the United States. So I was jobless, and I was wifeless, and many times, to be honest, I felt hopeless. So I'm looking for a job to teach the Bible just about anywhere. And that's when I got the call to go to China. I had an opportunity to go to China and teach in a university there, teach the Bible in a communist Chinese university. And I did not want to go. That was not on my list. That was not on my agenda to go alone on the other side of the planet and do what? It was scary and I wasn't interested, but I knew that the opportunity to teach the Bible in a communist Chinese university was an opportunity that could only come from the hand of God. And so I knew that despite my fears and my disinterest, this is what I had to do, because it was something that only Jesus could do. So I buy a one-way ticket to China. Never been there before. I get off the plane and I get my bags and I get to my apartment and I drop my bags on the floor of the apartment. Everything's different, everything smells different, looks different, everything's different. And I sit down on the couch in this apartment and just cry my eyeballs out because I do not want to be here. But I know that this is where Jesus wants me to be and that I have a mission. So for 6 years, I'm constantly asking myself the question, is Jesus enough? Is Jesus really enough to satisfy me in this set of circumstances that I do not want for myself? That's the constant question. Not only did I ask myself, is Jesus enough? But I think the positive answer to that question is, he's not only enough, Jesus is everything. He is our soul's satisfaction. So when he calls us out of the world and to leave the complacency and the pettiness behind to serve him, even though it costs us dearly, that is the source of our satisfaction. Jesus is better than everything.